Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root for Personal Liberty. My video commentary this week is about the shocking and disturbing news that President Obama has thrown Israel under the bus. It's titled Why Obama Has Abandoned Israel and Why Jews Should Abandon Obama. But certainly this commentary applies to not just Jews, but Christians and all Americans who support our great ally Israel and the right of Israel to exist. Mitt Romney had an interesting, controversial, and completely ignored line during a speech at the Republican National Convention. Mitt said, Obama has thrown Israel under the bus. Mitt knew something the rest of us obviously didn't. The story is shocking, as much for the betrayal of one of our strongest allies as for the timing. You see, Obama has gone rogue. As I've said for 3.5 years, President Obama is no friend of Israel. But I thought his betrayal would be timed for some time after the presidential election, perhaps on a quiet Thanksgiving or Christmas holiday weekend. The fact he's openly thrown Israel under the bus before the election is a disturbing sign for Jews and for all Americans who support our ally Israel. Can you imagine what Obama is capable of after the presidential election if he never again has to answer to Jewish voters? On Thursday, August 30th, Time magazine disclosed that U.S. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Martin Dempsey told reporters in London, I don't want to be complicit if Israel chooses to conduct a military strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. No top general would ever say anything like that without orders directly from the White House. As a matter of fact, he'd be fired if he did that on his own. Those are clearly Obama's words, not Dempsey's. But far louder than the words are the actions of the Obama administration. Time reports that a U.S.-Israeli joint war games exercise was postponed several months ago to show Obama's displeasure over Israel's plans to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. After being rescheduled for this fall, it has suddenly been scaled back drastically. Time reports that well-placed sources in both countries have confirmed that the Obama administration has slashed more than 2/3 of the number of U.S. troops participating, decided not to send crews to operate Patriot anti-missile systems, and will either cut in half or entirely eliminate the ballistic missile defense warships involved in this exercise. A senior Israeli official told Time, the message of the Obama administration is, we don't trust you. Well, I would contend the Israeli official is being very diplomatic. The real message is much more brutal. Good luck, Israel. You're on your own. Everyone in the Obama administration is aware that an attack by Israel on Iran requires the latest bunker buster bombs, provided only by the U.S. military. Israel also knows that a preemptive strike on Iran to save itself in the Holocaust, promised by Iran and Ahmadinejad as soon as it has nuclear capabilities, will result in retaliation from both Iran and Hezbollah. No question about that. With 40,000 plus missiles aimed at Israel from nearby Lebanon, Israel needs not only missile shields, but also military help from the U.S. to protect her civilian population and her very survival. Even worse, the X-band radar system in the Israeli desert aimed at Iran and linked to Israel's anti-missile systems to warn Israel of incoming missiles is manned and controlled 100% by only U.S. military personnel. Without cooperation from U.S. military, Israel's literally flying blind. The ability to save civilian lives and shoot down incoming missiles is in the hands of Barack Obama, and his message is clear. We don't have your back. Given the cold shoulder Obama has given Israel since his inauguration, it's not a major shock that he's the first U.S. president to refuse to help Israel defend her citizens and her national security. But what is a major shock is his showing in no uncertain terms his bias against Israel's right to defend herself before the presidential election. Shocking. The question is why? Obviously, first is Obama's true radical nature. He's no friend of Israel, and when the chips are down, you have to understand that. Second, Obama had no choice but to abandon Israel now, because as I've predicted publicly for months now, Israel is assured of no help after the election when Obama never has to face Jewish voters ever again. Therefore, Israel's best option is to order the attack now, before the U.S. election, when Obama's distaste for Israel may be overcome by his desperate need for Jewish votes and Jewish donors. Netanyahu undoubtedly told Obama that he has reached the exact same conclusion. So, boxed into a corner, Obama is now doing all in his power to stop the airstrike now, stalling it until after the election. And of course, we all know Obama loves to please Russian President Putin. Rumors from sources in both Moscow and Washington report that Putin has asked Obama to handcuff Israel. We all heard Obama tell the Russians, sit tight and give me space. This is my last election. After my election, I'll have more flexibility. Flexibility. Unfortunately, it's now clear one of those flexible items is to abandon Israel. As a Jew and a lifelong supporter of Israel, I would ask my fellow Jews to think long and hard at the voting booth on November 6th. Perhaps it's time to consider whether the historic voting patterns of Jews on behalf of the Democratic Party are in the best interests of the Jewish people. Is a vote for Obama a vote condemning Israel to become a sitting duck in the name of liberal U.S. politics or political correctness? Even more importantly, is voting for Obama over social issues or over a woman's right to choose worth risking another Holocaust? My conclusion? It's time for Jews to abandon Obama the same way Obama has abandoned Israel. And this late-breaking news just in from an Israeli newspaper that says sources from European countries are now quoting the fact that Obama went through back channels with European countries to give a message to Iran and Ahmadinejad. And the message was to Iran, our enemy, and Israel's enemy, a madman with nuclear ambitions who has stated multiple times his goal in life is to wipe out every Jew in the world and to destroy Israel and everyone living in it. And the back channel message from our president to Iran, a rogue terrorist nation, was that we do not have Israel's back, that they should not even think of attacking American interests, U.S. military installations, because they will not be part of the attack and they will not support Israel in any way. Can you imagine? This is like FDR going through back channels to tell Adolf Hitler that we will not have England's back. So go ahead and attack Britain, but don't attack the United States because we're not part of it. Can you even imagine this is happening in our country? It's time for Jews to abandon Obama the same way Obama has abandoned Israel and teach the Democratic Party a lesson. I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty at personalliberty.com. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here. God bless.